what's going on. So I wanted to talk about the fantasies are real, the sci-fi, the fiction, and just imagine when you're a baby, all the stuff that they made you to believe, whoever it was. And also, when you're a child, the imagination that you had, and it ran wild all the time. And a lot of stuff that maybe you once believed, or they talk about, maybe you stopped believing, or you just didn't hear about it, they covered it up, whatever it is. But all the fantasies are real. And it's all about, again, perspective. And if you want to know the truth, you will seek and find. Some examples are God. He's definitely one. And I had a chat with him last night, but actually a couple hours ago. So I woke up at 3:19 in the morning. I only slept for a couple hours, but I really wasn't tired. Maybe I was hungry. But I actually decided to talk to him. Had a talk with him, and it was really nice. And I got told a lot of things. But other than that, God's one of them. Demons, hell, angels, heaven, or you could believe in multiple gods. Also, giants, fairies, exotic animals such as Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, the Bottomless Snowman, fairies, hobbits, ghouls, ghosts, spirits, mermaids, dinosaurs, and also certain technologies, pyramids, maybe some volcanoes, the powers of gems and crystals, certain, tarot cards, certain types of magic, telepathicness. Yeah, there's honestly just so many things, and those are just a few, to be honest. And there's a lot more than that meets the eye, or that we know about, because a lot of it's kept undercover, and they delete all the evidence, or they don't want you to know about it, and that's one of the things. So don't ever stop believing and searching for what you want to know. If you don't care about it, you don't. But if it helps you, if you really want to know about something, the flat earth, biblical texts, ancient texts, I was going to say ancient cultures, and things they did, how they lived, what they ate, what they believed in. And I was going to say dragons too. Oh, there's one more thing I was about to say. Yeah. But there's all these things, and everything's already here. And you already know everything. You are divine. You are the light. Everything is inside of you. You were made this way. Everything outside is made from the inside. People say, you're just a small cosmic of what's going on in the outside world. And that's true. You're made of nothing less from the outside world. That's why people say oneness or together. When you stop believing or don't want to, search anymore, that's fine. It's all what you want to do and how far you want to go. But once you stop believing or going after, then, there's a halt there and maybe time to go do something else. Or you may not, succumb to that challenge or feat anymore. But people don't talk about this stuff for no reason, whether it's fiction, vampires, Dracula. People are getting these ideas from real life things that are passed down, maybe misinterpreted or never found. Again, caves, pyramids, giants, biblical stories, the Great Flood, Goliath. The Chinese dragon, they have it for a reason. The Minotaur, there's all these things that are real. Maybe they're not, maybe they were once, they made it, been extinct. But a lot of it's still here. It's not just made up out of thin air. People get ideas, and this is what I really want to dive deep into. People get ideas, they're not just spontaneously generating these ideas inside of them. They get them from the outside world, these creations. So they're once here, whether it's installed in memory or they see something alike. And they pretty much always will be. Aliens, extraterrestrials, the hollow earth. I don't know if I said that, the hollow earth. The firmament, the fact that we can't go to outer space. And the planets are just light. And there's different human beings, reptilians, the evilness, they say, the elite, the hybrid. I don't know why I said the hybrid. Not the hybrid, hybrid. And there's all these things. Just don't stop believing. People talk about these things for a reason. They didn't just make it up. They want you to think, the elite or people who don't believe, they want you to think this. They want you to think whatever they think and whatever they believe and not go for the truth, and that the world is a circle globe and you can go to the moon. And you have to believe in the people that tell you everything, and you can't think outside of the box. People write all these sci-fis and all these these movies aren't coming from nowhere, out of nowhere. These things of vampires, people drinking blood, and zombies. These are more than everyday things. They might be exaggerated to some degree and hollified by Hollywood, California, but they're based on something real. Everything is based on a true story. Killers, whatever it is. Of course, some of them are just way left field, but this is all true. And I just want to say, never stop believing and go as far as you want to. There's still new stuff out there to be discovered, new land. They won't let us go to Antarctica. And the world is flat. There's also the hollow earth. It's not in biblical text. This isn't, something new. There is nothing new because everything is already here. Cell phones aren't new. TVs aren't new. Spaceships aren't new. UFOs aren't new. All this technology is already here. Video games, telepathic, occultness, such as sending signals, telepathic, it's all real. People are just kind of dumbed down or never learned or just never taught to really express, look inside themselves and get that awareness. And all I can say is research and really look into it, because there is answers out there and there's answers to be discovered. It might not be necessarily new, but it might be new to you, or it might not be yet discovered. It might already be there and people might already aware about it, but things like that, they say, I think it's called Mount Nubul or Nebu. It's called Mount Nebu, but it's supposedly in Antarctica, well, North Pole actually. It's in the North Pole, and supposedly at the North Pole, this is where you get to the heavens, Mount Nubul, and it's real interesting. And this is in North Pole. It's supposedly the highest mountain, and this is where you go. But I mean, of course, it's probably hard to get there, but that's one way to get to so-called heavens. Also, like, I believe in telepathy, and that's a whole separate video, but to prove this, it happens all the time. It's not coincidences. I was thinking about this one guy I haven't talked to in a long, while, and I was thinking about him 2 days ago, and I was just thinking about him. I didn't actually commit to anything, but like the thought and the process. But the next day he texted me and asked how I am. I did tell him though. I was like, yeah, dude, I was actually just like thinking about you. I did tell him that. Yeah. And overall, just take it easy. And, you'll find yourself and it will come to you. You'll act upon it. Maybe you need to reach out to God. Because I had a fantastic conversation with him. And, everybody can have their own experience and do what they want and believe in what they want. But I definitely talked to him yesterday, a couple hours ago. And, it was fantastic. And he let me know. And every time that I did reach out to him, he's always there, which is, it's awesome. It's someone that's on your side. And you don't have to believe in God or not. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that, or you could have multiple gods, pagan. It's all what you want. There's witches, spells, curses, voodoo. These things are there. If you really search into them, vampires, zombies, they're coming from real stories. They're not, and I'm not just saying this to attract you and give you false conceptions. These things are hidden from you and ridiculed. And I know the mass don't believe them, but that's fine because they're taught to believe other things, or they're not aware. They've never reached out, and people who aren't, it's one thing to disagree and have your own opinion, but to ridicule someone and not see what they're saying and coming from their standpoint, It's just like people who, from spiritual people, from who practice Hinduism, all the religions, but for this main take, we're going to say Hinduism. They, they believe in, they have multiple gods, of course, but Brahman or Shiva's their god. But everyone seems, whether you believe in religion or not, there does seem to be some god or gods, some higher up, whatever. and that's okay. But what I'm saying is, they're still, even if they don't say they follow religion, they're still believing in God, and they're getting this from somewhere. And a lot of stuff has a lot more meaning, and it comes around full circle, just like circles and snakes. You know, I'm not going to go into the depth of them, but you look into them and you find interesting things, you know, and that may just explore what you want to do, be involved in what you want to be. Don't let other people put you down, because there's not going to be everyone there to support you. Definitely. And you might have to go against the odds, and a lot of people did. You know, the world of Hades and the underworld, it's very real. These people weren't just making this up. Look like a pirate with this. These people aren't making it up. They were just telling it in their own way, or their own story, and maybe exaggerating to some degree. It's all very real, and it's all your take on it and what you want to believe and what you want to go search for and discover. So get in depth. Yeah, and also, you know, just spread love and not criticize. You know, if you want to be that guy that hates and criticizes, I mean, go for it. Manipulative, destructive. I understand it's always going to be here, but if you want to maybe make a difference or make an impact, it's all about how you want to go about it. So be there for yourself. Be your own mascot, because we're all unique, but we all have that divineness, the light. And it doesn't, you know, I'm starting to think like everyone thinks just because someone's diet is superior, or, you know, someone's eating animal products or someone's not eating animal products, it doesn't make you, you're not getting a higher consciousness. That's a bunch of BS. It really is. It's not, you know, every food's going to impact you in a different way, sure, but at the end of the day, you know, it doesn't matter what you eat. You know, or do you like the food that you're eating, and do you believe in the food that you're eating? How's it going to affect you? You know what I mean? There's, you know, everyone's always on the same thing. Like I'm guilty of it too at certain degrees. But I didn't go and spread it. It was just more in my head. But some people out there just think they're superior and way, way better than people. And I understand it's maybe their vision, their YouTube channel, whatever it is. But don't fall into all that. You know, a lot of that's just a bunch of nonsense. Higher consciousness. Even these yogis, you know, they're getting way too much and suck you in too. You know, do what you want to do for the reason. Don't listen to somebody else's. Like, you know, we need to take in other people's opinions and ideas, but we need to stop forcing it upon people and acting like this is it. This is the holy grail. Because unless you live like real tight in a family situation or culture, no two, and especially how the world is set up nowadays, no two people are going to eat the same, feel the same, or think the same. It's just not like that. Again, if you live in a village and stuff like that, okay. Or if you practice some religion or ritual, but as you can see, they fall into the same place. So do you, and take in other people's assets and opinions, but you don't have to follow no man. And just make sure your heart's in it. So at the end of the day, the fantasies are real. A lot of the stuff is covered up, and they don't want you to know. Time travel. You know, like I said, telepathicness, I guess would be the better, proper word. You know, ancient stories, folktale. They're just as real. They may not be alive today, maybe they are once real, you know? Like the Great Flood, whatever. Some stuff may have passed away. It may be tucked away somewhere. There may be some creatures still alive or to come. Who knows? You just do your research and look into it and how you want to feel about it. So that's what I want to say. Just don't stop believing. Alright, thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your thoughts below, which this one's real interesting. If you have any ideas for videos, let me know. Yeah, that's about it. Check out some of my other ones.